guys, today I'm going to talk to you about my favourite masks, face masks to be precise. I get a lot of questions about skincare in general and I will be doing a skincare routine video, but I wanted to go a little bit more in depth about face masks because they are one of my favourite things to do when I just want to perk my skin up a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit dull and just drab, and they're the first thing that I reach for and probably my favourite thing to buy skincare wise. So I wanted to share 10 masks with you today that are my favourite ones that I've used and ones that I would recommend to you guys. I don't really have very blemish prone skin. I get kind of hormonal pimples or acne that will come up. My skin is a little bit more dehydrated. It's not dry, like I don't get dry patches, but it does get dehydrated and look a little bit, you know, just like it needs a bit of life injected into it. And so that is the thing that I kind of struggle with. I like really hydrating masks and things that are intended for radiance. So that's kind of what these masks are designed for, but there are a couple in there that I also use if I do have a bit of a breakout, but it's mainly designed for radiance and making your skin look glowy. That's kind of the thing that I'm drawn to. These are in no particular order, but starting out with one that you'll probably all have heard a lot of buzz about in the beauty world, and that is the Glycolactic Radiance Renewal Mask. This one is exactly what it says. It is designed for radiance, and I really like Ren as a company. Kind of clean and paraben free, and they just make some really lovely products. You do notice a difference when you've used this one. A lot of the ones that I'm going to show you, your skin might feel nice, but it's not going to kind of give you an instant facelift, but this one you do see a big difference in terms of what your skin looks like after you've used it. So it'd probably be a great one to use if you were going to an event or you were getting married, if you had a prom, that kind of thing. This one would be a good one to try. This one that I've got here is probably my favourite mask ever, and it's by Antipodes, which is a brand that I absolutely love. This one has avocado oil, Manuka honey and vanilla pod in it, and it's so nice. It's more of a, almost like a lotion, thicker than a lotion, but it's not really thick, and you can apply this and leave it on overnight. It doesn't say that on the packaging, but that's what I do with this. I very often wear this as my nighttime kind of face treatment. It does hydrate your skin, but this is a really good one if you do have any breakouts because of the Manuka honey. Honey is really antibacterial, so it's a great one to use even though it's not intended for that. It's really great one to use if you do have maybe a couple of blemishes. It's really calm and soothing. And I also find with blemishes that you really want to moisturise them, and whenever I do have a blemish I always feel like it's not actually the blemish or the colour of the blemish that's noticeable, it's the dry skin around it when I tend to put makeup on it. So keeping them hydrated is really important. I absolutely love this one, and you can leave it on as just a mask, but I do like sleeping in it. Another one that I like to leave on overnight is this one by Dr. Jart, and it's called the Dr. Jart Water Max Sleeping Mask. I've seen a few reviews of this where people have been, I don't know, a little bit underwhelmed, or they've compared it to the Origins Drink Up Intensive Overnight Mask, and I can totally see why, because they're both sort of sleeping masks and they're both overnight masks. And if you prefer a really thick consistency, then you will prefer the Origins version of the kind of like overnight hydrating mask. But personally I really like this. It's not always an indication of whether something is really moisturising, going off how thick it is or how thick it feels on your skin, because Vaseline feels really thick but it doesn't hydrate, it's just a complete barrier cream. So it's not always the best indication. Although I love the Origins one, I feel like you shouldn't really just dismiss this because it's a thinner consistency. It just really depends on what texture you prefer. The reason that I like this one, even though it's more of a lotion and it is very light in its consistency, is that I like to wear this with serums underneath and kind of like layer and have this as the final layer on top. This is designed to be slept in, unlike the Antipodes one. This is actually designed to be used overnight, and I just really like the Dr. Jart range in general, and it's really often on kind of offer in Boots, or it's on 3 for 2, so it's definitely worth checking out Dr. Jart. And I do really love this mask, even though it's one that I tend to use as kind of a mask cocktail, if you like, with other products underneath. So I did mention the Origins Drink Up Intensive Overnight Mask, and the one that I've got to show you here is actually the Drink Up mask, but it's not the overnight version, it's just a regular version. So this is a 10-minute skin thirst quenching mask that's really great if your skin's feeling a bit sallow, lackluster, dehydrated, and you just want to kind of pep it up and give it a bit more hydration. Great if your skin's looking a bit tired, if you've got any fine lines and you just want to plump them up and give your skin a really youthful glow. This is really good. It smells like apricot. It's really nice scent. and I leave this on for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I usually do this before I'm going somewhere, or if I'm going out for the evening, then this is a really good one to kind of put on before you do your makeup, because I feel like when my skin's really plumped up and moisturised, my makeup glides on really nicely. I absolutely love this one. A lot of people are fans of the overnight one, and I do like that one as well, but this is one that I'm using at the moment. The next one is probably the weirdest mask that I've ever used, but probably the most instantly gratifying one, and it's by Sarah Chapman. It's the Skinesis or Skinesis Instant Miracle Mask, and it's from the Clinic collection, and this comes in a sachet, but you can buy the box that has, like, I think it comes with 8 sachets. I'll link everything below for you guys, but this is so cool. It's like you're doing a science experiment. You get a tumbler, like a plastic tumbler, with the kit, and what you do is you put this into the tumbler. It's a powder in here, and then you mix water with it, shake it up, and it turns into, if anyone used to have gack when they were younger, not like cocaine, I mean like, it was by Nickelodeon, and it was like plasticine or Play-Doh, and it was called gack, and if any of you had that, it's like a rubbery, like plasticine but more rubbery and like slimy, I don't know. It goes to that consistency, so you can't put this down the sink because it will completely block up your drains. You have to work really quickly and like put it on your face before it sets, and when it sets you can kind of like peel it off as a layer of it's like rubber almost. But this has a lot of hyaluronic acid in it. It really plumps your skin up, it makes it look really radiant and glowy, and it makes your pores kind of look like they're visibly reduced. Instant results, quite like the Ren one, but even more than the Ren one. You can get this from Space NK. It has a lot of kind of skin tightening clays in there and things like that, so if you are, perhaps you've got more mature skin and you want to kind of like lift everything before you go into a big event, this is the one for you. Or if you just want to add a little bit of a radiant glow, this is one. You need to try this one, it's amazing. Another mask that I really love, and this is a newer one for me and I included it in my recent haul, is the NUXE Creme Fraiche mask. It's really soothing, so you can apply this mask all around your eyes, which I personally really like. What I really like about this one is you don't have to remove it, so you can kind of massage it in. So again, this one is a really great one to use overnight. I love NUXE as a brand, and this in particular is just so cool and calming. So if you do have any breakouts or you have any kind of skin irritations, this is a really nice one to use, and it just instantly soothes and calms your skin whilst kind of hydrating it at the same time, so that's a really nice one. The next one that I've got to show you is by Champneys, and it is a little bit, you know, lower on the price range than the other ones that I've shown you, but just as good, and this is the Skin Resurfacing Mask. This has alpha hydroxy acids in it, or AHAs, which are designed to kind of exfoliate and resurface your skin. So this is really great if you get a build-up of kind of dead skin cells. I sometimes get it around my nose. I feel like I'm constantly exfoliating around my nose. This is a great one for you, but you do have to be careful with things like this because you've got to wear sunscreen with it. It's nothing really scary, it's just that because it's taking away the top dead layer of skin, the skin that's coming through underneath is obviously new skin, and so it just needs to be protected, and you need to make sure that you use adequate protection when you're going out. So even in the UK I would use something with an SPF in it if you're using a product with any kind of exfoliating properties or kind of acids, fruit acids in there as well. But this is really great. I again like to use this when my skin's just feeling a little bit congested, a little bit like it needs to be refreshed. This is a good bet. Another one that I love is by Akin, and it's their Instant Radiance facial mask. Now this one I don't really enjoy using so much because it actually smells really bad to me. It smells like food. I feel like I'm putting kind of like a pasta sauce, or like it's got a real food smell to it, but it's worth using because the effects are really great, and so I'll just kind of suck it up and use this because it does actually do really great things for my skin. It's paraben free, it's kind of all natural, it's got AHA in it much like the Champneys one, so it's really kind of renewing, and it's also got rosehip, pomegranate, multifruit, willow bark and vitamin B3, and it just makes your skin, you know, a lot of these masks with alpha hydroxy acids in will just make your skin look really youthful and glowy because they're just getting rid of all the dead skin and letting your skin kind of shine through. And yeah, it's really great as well for getting rid of any fine lines, imperfections. Like a lot of these masks, it will just plump your skin up as well and make it look really fresh and youthful, but I just kind of wish it smelled a bit better. I guess, you know, it's just one of those things, you just have to kind of suck it up. So I do love this one though. The next one that I really love is this one by Clarks Botanicals. It's called their Intense Radiance Mask. It's really great for a lot of different skin concerns. So if you've got acne, this is really great for acne. It's also good for kind of aging skin and things like that. So it's not just designed for one thing, which is really good. And there's a big story behind this, so I'll link the website below, but I believe the creator of this suffered from a disability, was in an accident and gave him acne on his body, which is something he'd never suffered with before, and he came up with his own homemade remedy, which is this mask. He then ended up selling it to people, and now he has this skincare brand. So it's kind of a cool story behind it, not someone that just thought, oh, I'm going to make a skincare brand. It's actually serving a purpose for them, and then they went on and sold it to other people. So I really like using this, and I've used this. It's quite manly packaging, so I feel like this is a good one to use with a boyfriend as well. If they're suffering a little bit with their skin, then it's a really good one to kind of share. So I love that one. The last mask that I've got to show you, I'm just kind of classing as one because they're all the same mask, but different variations and by the same brand. But there are actually 4 of them, and they're by Borghese. These are their mud masks. These are little travel sizes, and they come in bigger tubes or in a huge glass kind of tub, and you can use them on your face and on your body, and I would just use it on my face personally. But they're really great. It's just a regular mud mask for face and body, which is just going to be kind of good for drawing out any impurities. But then there are more specialised ones as well. There's a brightening version, there's one for delicate dry skin, and one that's hydrating. So I love the hydrating one personally because my skin does tend to be on the dehydrated side. But I saw Fleur from Fleur de Force raving about the kind of Fango one for kind of clearing your nose up and kind of getting rid of blackheads. And so now what I do is kind of use both of them and just apply them to different areas of my face. So those are my top 10 kind of favourite face masks that I use on a regular basis. Hopefully there'll be something in there for any skin concerns that you might have. And my top tip really with face masks, and something that I can't like stress enough, is that you must exfoliate before you use one. I always try and make sure my skin is really exfoliated beforehand, either manually or like that I've used something the day before like liquid gold or something to kind of chemically exfoliate it. If you don't exfoliate your skin and you just put a face mask on, then you're kind of just putting like £30 worth of skincare product onto dead skin cells, and it's not actually penetrating down to your actual skin. You're just kind of putting it on all the dry dead skin cells that are on the top. So make sure your skin's really exfoliated beforehand, and then it can actually get to work on your skin, and you'll see better results that way as well. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've used any of these face masks, or if there was a face mask that I didn't include that you think I would like. I'd love to hear your suggestions in the comments below. I'll see you in a couple of days with another video. Bye guys!